I have a buddy. In like Pittsburgh, it's not a big, huge comedy scene or nothing like that. They had like loose open mics, and like what you were saying, it's like crowd of 10, people are talking, there's food involved. Half the people really kind of don't give a shit. They're either there to play, they play music or they do comedy. So it's like a
Yeah.
crapshoot of people, and you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
god. And like, will they get the humor? Do they even care? And it's
Right.
like you have to find that balance of like, all right, I'm probably not going to get a reaction I really want. And on top of that, it's like, am I going to do well at in the execution of how it is all? And am I going to get the honest response that I'm kind of looking for? It's all that kind of shit coming into play where it's like, man, do you think with a bigger crowd, say anything like that, a good venue, comedy wise and everything like that, would you be like apt to just go up there and do a little bit of stand up and anything like that? Would that kind of motivate you a little bit more? Say if you had a good venue, like what for comedy and stuff.
Comedy club or theater.
Yeah, something like that that's pretty well packed, and you could do a set that's like, say like 20 minutes or something, that you're on stage with, somebody else is either following you or you're following them or something like that. Is that something you think you could kind of do more so or feel more?
Oh, no, I do that sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
No, I enjoy doing that. It's not something that I'm trying to do anything with, and that's a lot of basic thinkers have a hard time with that. So when they think about it, they're just like, so how's the comedy working for you? Stick with it, and I think you'll go whatever. For me, it's just, like I get once in a while I get an urge to do it. And I also get booking offers for that, but it's like, my time is worth so much more now than it ever has been, and it's always been increasingly so. It seems, So
right.
like I mean, so it's like when the busier I get, it's like I that has to equate. It equates to money, and it's like to do. I've done a few stand-up tours, and it was because Tom Garland, who managed him, he would put several shows together, 6, 7, 8, whatever shows. And then if I'm making so much a night, it can add up, by the end of the tour, made it worth my while. But even those, I'm beyond that now. That was like going back to indie times, being on the road, traveling from town to town and stuff. But I was used to it because it was fun. But yeah, here in Las Vegas, there's the LA Comedy Club, which I actually have their shirt on right now. Actually, yeah, Synchronicity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I go there every once in a while. I just text the dude and say, hey, you got 20, whatever, how many minutes here this week sometime. And I'll say, how about Sunday at 8:00? Boom, I'll be there. And that's cool because when I do that, it's a real comedy crowd, they're there to laugh.
Yeah.
And they're not a wrestling fan crowd, but most of them know RVD anyway. But if it is where I'm headlining, then it's a bunch of wrestling fans, and a lot of them, won't, the comedy won't translate because they want to hear stories of wrestling maybe, and other wrestlers do that. I understand, like Mick Foley and Jake Roberts, Piper. I've seen him do it at the comedy club in LA, where they go up there and tell wrestling stories. And since that's not what I do, some of it won't translate as all. But if I'm in a position like you're talking about, where there isn't a lot of people there, and I'm going out there anyway, I talk about being committed on my RVDology. When I'm committed, I'll go out there, and like you were just saying, that you might wonder, am I gonna do good tonight? Am I gonna get the reaction? Those are two different things. At least that's what my ego would tell me. So I'll be my own judge. So I'll say, regardless of these people, I want to go out there and do this for me, test myself, see how good I do 45 minutes, see how much I remember, see what I could improve on or whatever, and go out there and just do it. And I know that they could have, sometimes it feels like they could have been looking at a wall, but that's part of, like, in my movie Headstrong, that was like part of that. Mostly now my standards are higher, so now I just like to go and at comedy clubs. But there's never no telling when something will come along. Somebody tried to book me and Mick Foley in Florida for June, going back to back, but the guy was a little shady, so that didn't work out. But but you never know. And of course, the wrestling fans are there to support you no matter what.
Right, 100%.
Oh, by the way, just like with everything else, you can look at my playlist of my stand-up comedy on my YouTube page, and it's all right there. So, because a lot of people be like, "Man, I want to see your set." It's not a set. I go up and I change it, every time. Now, and I've been doing that for maybe the last couple of years. But anyway, it's all right there for you. There's no denying me.
That's right. RVDpod.com. You go to that, it'll hit you the YouTube channel, and you can check out RVD's stand-up stuff and all that. And he's got a whole lot of stuff, different things on there.